Imagine this. You're boarding a luxurious first-class cabin. The air smells of fresh coffee and leather seats. Everyone seems important and busy. But then, a small 11-year-old black girl in a neat blazer walks up to seat 2A, holding her boarding pass tightly. A middle-aged man in an expensive suit is already lounging there, smirking as he says, "Find another seat, kid." Her voice is calm but firm. "Excuse me, you're in my seat." What happens next will shock you, inspire you, and remind you why we should never judge someone by how they look. This is the incredible true story of Amara Jenkins, a young prodigy who built a multi-million-dollar company before most kids finish middle school. Stick with me until the end because the comeback is powerful, and it will motivate you to stand tall no matter what obstacles come your way. If this hooks you already, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs inspiration, and subscribe to Real Life Stories for more uplifting tales of resilience and triumph. Let's dive in. The airport was buzzing with the usual chaos, rushed travelers dragging suitcases, announcements echoing overhead, and the scent of pretzels wafting from the food court. Amara Jenkins, just 11 years old, walked confidently through the gate with her father, Marcus, by her side. She wasn't dressed like a typical kid on vacation. Her sharp blazer and polished shoes hinted at something more. In her backpack was a laptop loaded with presentations that could change the future of education worldwide. Amara wasn't just any passenger. She was the founder and CEO of Dreamscape, an innovative ed-tech company she'd coded from scratch starting at age 8. By 11, her platform had reached millions of underprivileged kids globally, providing free access to personalized learning tools. Her company was valued at more than many adults could dream of, and today, she was flying first class to San Francisco for a crucial meeting with SUNTC Ventures, investors who could take Dreamscape to billionaire status. As Amara approached row 2, seat A, the window seat she'd specifically chosen for the view to calm her nerves, a man in his 50s, dressed in a tailored suit with a smug expression, was sprawled across it. He had his laptop open, noise-canceling headphones on, acting like he owned the plane. Amara politely cleared her throat. "Excuse me, sir, you're in my seat. It's 2A." The man glanced up briefly, his eyes scanning her from head to toe. A child, a black girl in first class. His smirk deepened. "Find another one, sweetheart," he muttered without moving. "This area's for serious travelers." Amara's small hands gripped her boarding pass tighter, the paper crinkling under her fingers. She wasn't used to this kind of dismissal, not anymore. Back home, investors listened when she spoke. Teachers praised her genius. Her father always reminded her she belonged anywhere she earned her place. But here, in this moment, she felt the weight of doubt crashing down. The flight attendant, a woman in her 40s with a tight bun, noticed the commotion and approached. Amara hoped for quick resolution. "Ma'am, this is my seat. Here's my pass." Instead of scanning it properly or asking the man to move, the attendant's eyes flickered with hesitation. She looked at the man, white, middle-aged, exuding confidence, and then at Amara. "Sweetie, maybe you can sit in economy today. There's plenty of space back there." Gasps echoed through the first-class cabin. Passengers turned in their seats, whispers starting like a wave. A businessman in 1B raised an eyebrow. A woman with pearls clutched her armrest. How could they suggest a child move when she had proof? Marcus, seated in economy because he'd sacrificed his upgrade for Amara's comfort during the long flight, heard the raised voices and immediately strode forward. His presence was commanding yet calm, like a protector ready to shield his daughter. "Sir, that seat belongs to my daughter. She purchased it fairly. Please move." The man, now identified as Richard Blackwell, a high-level executive at a rival tech firm, crossed his arms defiantly. "I'm not going anywhere. First class isn't a playground. Kids belong in the back with juice boxes." The words stung like salt in a wound. Amara felt humiliation burning in her cheeks, tears threatening but held back by sheer will. She'd faced skepticism before, investors questioning if a little girl could really run a company, teachers underestimating her in gifted programs because of stereotypes. But this was public, in front of strangers who now stared with pity or doubt. A teenager across the aisle even pulled out his phone, discreetly recording. Amara spoke up again, her voice steady despite the tremble inside. "This is my seat. I belong here just as much as anyone." The silver-haired woman in 3C couldn't stay silent. "Young lady has the right ticket. Why should she move for him?" Others nodded, but Blackwell glared back. The flight attendant, overwhelmed, radioed for the captain. Tension thickened the air like fog. Marcus placed a gentle hand on Amara's shoulder. "Stand tall, Sparrow," he whispered, using her nickname from when she was little, inspired by how sparrows fearlessly claim their space in the world. Minutes felt like hours. Then the captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, due to a security concern, will be returning to the gate. Security will board shortly." Confusion erupted. Delayed flights are annoying, but security? Whispers turned to murmurs. "What's going on?" Amara's heart pounded. She knew instinctively this concern was about her. When security officers boarded, they approached directly. "Miss Jenkins, Mr. Jenkins, please come with us." Passengers gawked as Amara stood, backpack slung over her shoulder, chin high despite the burning stairs. "Fraud," someone whispered. "Kid with fake ticket," Marcus protested calmly. "This is discrimination. My daughter has every right to that seat." But they were escorted off, the door closing behind them with a final thud. In a cold, glass-walled room at the terminal, questioning began. Agents reviewed passports, tickets, even Amara's business documents. Everything was legitimate. Her company registered, taxes paid, the SUNTC meeting confirmed. But an anonymous tip had alleged fraud, underage travel without proper guardianship, suspicious funds in her company's accounts. Marcus fumed quietly. Amara sat composed, answering questions with precision that surprised the agents. "My company, Dreamscape, provides AI-driven education tools. All transfers are for global partnerships, audited and transparent." The tip, it came from Blackwell. In his arrogance, after the attendant left, he'd called authorities, claiming the child was involved in some scam, perhaps money laundering through offshore accounts. Prejudice fueled it. He couldn't fathom a black child legitimately in first class, let alone owning something bigger than his ego. The humiliation lingered like a shadow. Their flight rebooked for later, the meeting delayed. Amara stared out the window, fighting tears. "Why do they assume I don't belong, Dad?" Marcus hugged her. "Because some people fear what they don't understand. Your brilliance threatens their worldview. Remember, we can't control ignorance, but we control our response. Turn this pain into power." That night in the hotel, Amara couldn't sleep. She opened her laptop, reviewing code, dreaming bigger. Dreamscape wasn't just an app. It was her mission to level the playing field, giving kids like her former self access to world-class learning no matter their zip code or skin color. She'd started coding at 7, frustrated that her school's resources were limited. By 9, she'd launched a beta version helping classmates. Investors came knocking when a viral demo showed kids in remote areas thriving. Now, at 11, she employed a team, partnered with nonprofits, and dreamed of reaching billions. The next morning brought an unexpected knock. Richard Blackwell stood there, pale and shaken, asking to speak privately. Marcus nearly slammed the door, but Amara nodded curiosity and resolve winning. Blackwell confessed, I made the call, I wanted the seat. But more than that, I couldn't accept a child, you, having what I've worked decades for. It wasn't just inconvenience, it was envy mixed with bias I didn't admit." He revealed more. He worked for Next Gen Innovations, a direct competitor jealous of Dreamscape's rapid growth. Corporate leaders had been plotting sabotage, hacking attempts, smear campaigns. His false report was the opening they needed to tip authorities and derail her funding. He handed over a USB drive, emails, recordings, proof of the conspiracy involving Tecker Ventures, a shady firm funding dirty tricks. "I can't undo the humiliation, but I can help stop this." Shame etched his face, no excuses left. Amara listened, then spoke with wisdom far beyond her years. "You tried to make me feel small by stealing my seat, but seats aren't what define belonging. Ideas do, impact does, and mine will outlast your prejudice." Blackwell left broken, facing his own consequences. Armed with evidence, Amara and her team, now including lawyers, not only rescheduled with SUNTC but alerted federal investigators. The presentation was electric. Amara stood before the board, explaining Dreamscape's vision, AI tutors adapting to each child's needs, bridging gaps in underserved communities. She shared her story, the plain incident, not as victimhood, but as fuel. "Obstacles like yesterday remind me why this matters. Every child deserves to feel they belong in the first class of opportunity." The board was moved. Full funding approved, plus a public pledge to support anti-bias initiatives. News exploded. 11-year-old Black CEO turns airplane discrimination into multi-million triumph. Interviews poured in. Shares of Dreamscape soared. NextGen's stock plummeted as executives faced espionage charges. Blackwell was fired, exposed publicly, his career in ruins, a cautionary tale of how arrogance crumbles. Back home, Amara reflected by her window, city lights twinkling below. The stolen seat became a symbol, not of defeat, but of unbreakable spirit. She inspired millions. Young girls coding apps, Black entrepreneurs pushing boundaries, anyone facing doubt remembering her words in interviews. Your place isn't given, it's claimed. Stand tall, speak truth, and keep building. This story reminds us that resilience turns pain into purpose. No matter how small you feel in a moment, your worth isn't decided by others' biases. Amara didn't just reclaim her seat, she soared higher, opening doors for countless others. If this powerful journey moved you, motivated you, or reminded you of your own strength, do this right now. Like this video to spread the inspiration, share it with friends and family who need a boost, and subscribe to Real Life Stories with notifications on, so you never miss tales of real heroes overcoming the odds. Comment below, what's one time you stood tall against doubt? Let's motivate each other. You are capable of greatness. Keep pushing, keep believing. The world needs your light. Until next time, stay strong.